President Lois and fellow Lions, we are very fortunate to have Rabbi Robins come from the Sharp Memorial speak to us today, and we're very fortunate. Her time is limited.
Well, all our time is limited.
I have as much time as you have, and I do want to offer you my condolences. That is quite a loss, and one that doesn't necessarily make sense. I don't think any loss makes sense, but when we're talking about infants, you know, there's a place where it just, you know, the question why, I don't know if that even goes anywhere. So, blessings to you. So I do work at Sharp Memorial Hospital, and we like to say that Sharp is the best place to work, to practice medicine, and to receive care. And hopefully we're caring for you already by having given you a hand gel for your car. It is a wonderful place to work, and I serve in the capacity of a pastoral educator. I'm actually not on the floors that often. I do very much miss patient care, but what I do is I train and educate and supervise healthcare chaplains in training from all different backgrounds. I have another job in addition to Sharp, where I teach at a Jewish graduate school in Los Angeles called the Academy for Jewish Religion. And there I do the same kind of teaching with a Jewish group. Basically, I work with Buddhists and Christians and Muslims in the field of spiritual care, Hindus, the list goes on, people from a variety of different denominations. Vegans? What was that? Vegans? Yes, there are a few vegans, and I did notice that you have a sense of humor, so some people on the raw food diet as well. So I love the work that I do, because I not only have the daily opportunity to learn more about my own tradition as it relates to healthcare and biomedical ethics. I have the opportunity to learn from other people's traditions and how other people perceive their traditions, and how practically we can serve people from a variety of cultural and faith traditions in a non-sectarian environment such as Sharp Healthcare. So it's an amazing experience to be in a hospital environment. I would go as far as saying that there has not been a time throughout history, as in contemporary healthcare, where people from different communities and traditions come together the way they do in a healthcare environment. I think it is probably one of the most underestimated environments in our culture where true cross-cultural interfaith coalition building is being done. So I'm wondering, have any of you ever benefited from the assistance of a spiritual care counselor or chaplain in the military or in healthcare? Just curious.
I have in the Navy.
In the Navy?
Yeah.
Right.
Chaplain married us.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, a chaplain is, as you know, as you just stated, a religious leader, spiritual leader in the military. A chaplain is also somebody who works in the healthcare environment, in prisons, in hospices. And there is a special training called clinical pastoral education. And that's what I supervise. I'm a clinical pastoral education supervisor. And it used to be, in the olden days, whenever those were, I don't know, maybe that was last year, I have no idea, but it used to be that anybody who was a clergy person was automatically a chaplain. Any clergy person could automatically go into hospitals and hospices and prisons and provide spiritual care. That is not true anymore. We still have a lot of individuals who have been providing spiritual care in environments for many, many years and who are still part of institutions who have not done clinical pastoral education, the clinical training to become chaplains. But more and more, in addition to receiving theological training, the person who wants to be a chaplain needs to receive clinical pastoral education in order to become clinically trained in addition to being theologically trained. What might be some of the reasons for that? Just
To be sensitive to medical condition.
to be aware of medical conditions, that's a really good point, to have exposure to a variety of medical situations. Anything else?
Well, they're kind of concentrating on one factor, aren't they, in their beliefs, or looking at critical care, to looking at the ending of your religious life.
Right. A lot of people, when even if they've been totally detached and unaffiliated from their particular tradition, there is often, not always, but often something that happens where people want to connect with the tradition of their birth, of their culture, and of their history. So there are a lot of end-of-life needs across all traditions. One of the major reasons that clinical pastoral education is so essential, I'm going to give you a list, but one of the primary reasons, as I see it, is that clergy, people with theological degrees, need to learn in our culture to meet people on their own terms, both within the context of their own tradition, but primarily without religious agenda. It is such a sensitive time when people are facing critical incidents in their lives. And it's just ever more pressing that people with particular beliefs are also able to meet people with their own particular beliefs and to serve those needs. We have a lot of people in our culture who are still affiliated. We have Roman Catholics, and we have Jews, and we have Presbyterians, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And we also have a growing population, and I don't think we should have a debate about it, but I know it can spark some interesting discussion, but it's just a reality, we have a growing population of people who are not affiliated with any particular religious tradition or history who are seeking spirituality. So chaplains, in addition to serving people within specific traditions, also reach out to people on their own grounds of spiritual seeking and provide for a number of needs, whether it be poetry or prayer, music, arts for healing, even aromatherapy is at Sharp now. We have a whole integrated program where people are given hand massage and Reiki and have the opportunity to do art projects in the hospital. Music therapy, pet therapy. It's a pretty exciting project. Did I see a hand up back there? Was anybody going to ask something? So